Ooh, welcome everyone to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. And as always, Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE150 and you got yourself a $1,000 risk-free bet if you're a new customer. Hey, give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Always appreciate that. And hey, recapping the week, I'm running the numbers. Looking like a pretty good week. 2-1 on the day, 0.8 units of stone cold profit. Close out another winning week for us. 4.3 units of profit on the week. 3 out of the last 4 weeks have been winning weeks as well. You know, maybe call me old fashioned, but if I was listening to a podcast for free, just closed out a nice week with 4.3 units of profit, might head over to Apple Podcasts, toss them a nice rating and review. Again, that's just the way I was raised. That's just the way my parents raised me to, support a podcast that gives out free picks, free winners. Hey, a lot of fun. Well, with the exception of one game. We'll get to that. But again, 2-1. Never going to complain about that. Hey, Mike Trout. We had the over 1.5 bases. Wasn't looking great until the bottom of the 8th. He steps up to the plate, slams a home run, gets it home 8-1. Angels lost 8-1. His solo shot was the only run scored. So, thank you, Mike Trout, fellow Eagles fan. Go Birds. All the best ones are. Jackson State. How about them? How about those Tigers? Jackson State. I mean, again, I really like the -3, but they did not need that. They dominated 59-3. A line went from like -3 to -8, and I even reached out to some of my contacts over at WinBet. I'm like, do you know why it went from, it was like -1. There was a brief period where they were a dog, and then it was back to -3, and then -8. People in the Discord were showing me a bunch of different numbers. Again, it's FCS football, so it's always going to be a little kind of out there. But I hit up my contacts over at the WinBet, and I'm like, guys, what's going on here? What do you see on your end? And it just seemed like a couple people made big enough bets. And again, there's usually not major limits on here, so I'm still trying to figure it out. I think what happened is a couple of people that someone in the betting community label as sharp, came in there and they got scared. And so everyone moved it because, if one place sees them moving it, like, oh, they're moving an FCS game from 3 to 8. I'm sure we're missing the information. They just blindly move it off that. Regardless, you could have moved it to whatever. Jackson State gets it done, and the Fighting Deons. What a win for them. So congrats, hats off there. And then, unfortunately, only loss of the night, and what a loss, man. LSU had them laying 3. Man, what a weird game. They were good. Their offensive line looked horrible at times. Jaden Daniels running all over the place, trying to get it done. I mean, when they were down 24-10, I thought it was completely cooked. Come all the way back, 24-17, and then what should have been the game-tying touchdown, and then they get another kick blocked on the extra point. I mean, LSU and ECU, just horrific kicking game, horrific special teams. They lose 24-23. Who knows what could have happened in overtime? But man, I mean, this in the UTSA game, we're losing triple overtime when it's down to 2-point conversions. Gambling gods, you owe us. You know it. And that when you lose bets like these, blocked extra point, send it into, because I've been on the other side. They're going to come back for that, the gambling gods. But for now, gambling gods owe us, and it's a good spot to be in because ATS been on a nice little run here overall, just grinding out some winning weeks. And the gambling gods owe us. I like where we're at. All right, let's get to it. Got a 1 college football play, and then back to baseball, baby. Let's go. A lot of action on the hill, on the mound, at the diamond, however you like to throw out your baseball phrases. First up, college football, Clemson at Georgia Tech. I'm taking Georgia Tech plus 23.5. Get that over on DraftKings. I'm just not in on Big Cinco. I know he's probably coming in with a relatively short leash to this season, although I'd be surprised if they pull him game 1 against Georgia Tech. Although, last year Clemson, they were lucky to get that outright win against Georgia Tech. I believe they were at home. They won 14-8, which against Georgia Tech should really count as a loss for Clemson. Clemson figured out their offense kind of in the second half, but Man, Georgia Tech, this could be their Super Bowl, right? They held Clemson to 14 points last time. That was their lowest any opponent, or like lowest their defense allowed yardage wise, 284 yards. And they're 23.5-point home dogs. And this Georgia Tech quarterback, Jeff Sims, third-year guy, last 2 seasons, he has nearly 900 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns on the ground. So, you get a rushing quarterback. What's great if they're a big dog like this is, again, they can extend drives. They can keep the offense out there. You don't need that much to cover 23.5, and I think Georgia Tech has that. Again, a rushing quarterback that can move it. And again, I'm not a big Cinco guy. I'm not buying any of the potential Heisman hype, whatever it is. I'm just seen enough of Big Cinco. I'm just not in. All right. We got a couple other picks baseball wise. First up, we got the Nats at the St. Louis Cardinals, taking the Cardinals -1.5, -125. Get that over on win. The Nats have won 2 games in a row. First up, there's no way they make it 3. So I love fading them here on the road. I mean, they beat the Mets back-to-back games, 7-1 each game, and now they're going on the road at the Cardinals. The streak is not going to stay alive for the Nats here. Cards have been turning it out as of late. I mean, they've gotten really hot in the second half of the season. They're right up there with the Dodgers and Orioles, 78-56 on the run line. They're also really good on the run line at home, 41-26. Nats pitcher Anibal Sanchez, he's going 1 for 5, 5.05 ERA. Looks like a guy you'd like to fade. And Jack Flaherty for the Cards. He's been out for a while. He's back healthy. Again, this is a great spot for the Cards, but more so this is just a fade of the Nats, right? They're at home, got a couple wins against the Mets, and now they go on the road, and this is where it all falls apart because they are the Nationals. So give me the Cards laying 1.5 on the run line. And last but not least, Giants at Dodgers. Dodgers -1.5 +100 over on win. Are you kidding me? I actually snuck this was on Saturday night. My buddy and his wife came into town last minute. Took the red eye out from Hawaii and got some last minute tickets. They're like, hey, we're going to be in LA. They're massive Dodger fans. You want to go to the game? Yes. Obviously, if I go to a game, I got to bet on the game. Going to take the Dodgers on the run line. Dodgers had lost 3 in a row at that point on Saturday, and then just a massive blowout of the Padres. That was really fun. But Dodgers, again, on the run line especially, always something we're looking to play here, but they've really owned the Giants as of late. Last 10 games, 5.2 to 2.8 runs. That's 2.4 differential, and this is a rivalry, or you would be led to believe. But the way the Dodgers are dominating, 7-0 straight up, last 7 at home against San Francisco, and the Giants have really, I know they took a couple from my fills here, but they've been really bad on the road, the Giants. 2-8 straight up last 10 on the road. Logan Webb going for the Giants. He started 2 games against the Dodgers. One, they ended up losing by 4. Other game, they lost by 6. So he's not the answer when it comes to the Dodgers. Nothing is the answer for the Dodgers because they're just unstoppable. And they're putting out Andrew Heaney, 2-0 at home with a 1.05 ERA. And they're just a machine on the run line. I'm not going to keep reading off their run line stats. You guys have heard them a million times. But Dodgers get it done at home, especially against the Giants. So give me the Dodgers, -1.5 +100 over on win. Cardinals, -1.5, -125 over on win as well. And Georgia Tech as the home dog, catching 23.5. Get that -110 over on DraftKings. Hey, if you guys haven't already downloaded it, I mean, you got to be tracking your picks with the Betting Pros pick tracking app. bettingpros.com/pick-tracking. They got you covered. Again, sync all your sportsbook. Again, it's just great. I mean, for someone who gives out a ton of picks, it's always nice to have your record in front of you. Reminded you, hey, you're good at this, dummy. You're horrible at that. What are you doing? And always fun for touting purposes as well. And we welcome all touts in the Betting Pros Discord. Always enjoy a good tout because, hey, it's fun to win. It's fun to win. It's fun to celebrate. it's always a little better if you give out your pick beforehand and then tout it later. Some people are better at that than others. But a lot of fellow sharp people in the Betting Pros Discord. Again, I continue to be amazed at some of the other angles that are being put out there. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good angle. I like that. Good plays. So bettingpros.com/chat, get in the Discord, hang out, chat it up, sweat it out. It's like a sauna in here past couple days with college football, the amount of sweats we've had. Hey, BetMGM.com, promo code JUICE150. Get yourself a risk-free $1,000 bet if you're a new customer. Hey, follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other show, Sports Gambling Podcast. Again, tons of college football, ATS, every NFL game against the spread. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.